afternoon, Squatch Nation, and welcome here to Black Hills Energy Stadium in beautiful Spearfish, South Dakota. It is a beautiful day for some Friday afternoon action as your Spearfish Sasquatch look to continue their great play and their hot streak of winning during their first long homestand of the season against the traveling Nebraska Prospects. So we have plenty to talk about tonight, but why not we just go ahead and get straight into these lineups as we are only about 5 minutes from first pitch, and I don't want to get too behind as the national anthem starts in just a few moments. So we'll talk about the visiting Nebraska Prospects. Leading off for the Prospects, Matt Getzman, number 11, the center fielder. Batting second, Colin Lineman. Number 17, the right fielder. And batting third, number 7, the shortstop, Nolan Brown. Batting cleanup for the Nebraska Prospects, number 12, the first baseman, Tristan Gomes. Batting fifth, number 35, and the designated hitter, Ryan David. Batting sixth, number 1, the second baseman, Jaden Adams. Batting seventh, number 18, catching behind the plate, Jackson Stroff. Batting eighth, number 15, the left fielder, Zach Johnson. And rounding out the order for the Nebraska Prospects this beautiful Friday afternoon, number 14, third baseman, Gage Allen. And as you see the Sasquatch headed out on the field in their beautiful all-white jerseys this afternoon, let's call out these hometown Spearfish Sasquatch starting lineup for you today. So, leading off for the Spearfish Sasquatch, number 27, shortstop, Johnny McHenry. And I did not make it in time. We will be right back after this national anthem in just a couple of moments. And it appears that we are going to start right back over as there was a bit of a miscommunication. We tried the recording of the national anthem, but it appears we have a live performance this afternoon. There we are. So, the instrumental and the live recording of the national anthem both very beautiful as we are looking forward to an exciting afternoon, an exciting matchup between the Nebraska Prospects and the Spearfish Sasquatch. First time these two teams have met so far this year for a 3-game set here in Spearfish. Going to be a lot of action and a lot of stuff to talk about. So very excited to be here with you. My name is Wynn Andrews, and I am your voice of the Spearfish Sasquatch. I really have to stay up to date on announcing these lineups on time because the last couple of days we have just been on the money, ready to go ahead and get this game underway. So as we have our new and about to be introduced pitcher on the mound for the Spearfish Sasquatch, we have Johnny McHenry for the Squatch leading off, number 27, the shortstop. Batting second, number 24, the second baseman, Ryan Bachman. Batting third, number 2, the center fielder, Carson Green. Batting cleanup, number 12, the left fielder, Gabe Springer. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 30, Drew Biggerstaff. Batting sixth, number 28, first baseman, Harrison Clark. Batting seventh, number 3, the designated hitter, Trey Vorwald. Batting eighth, number 17, the third baseman, Bailey Bordas. And batting ninth, number 8, the right fielder, Cam Hoyland. So an exciting lineup, at least offensively for the Spearfish Sasquatch, and taking the mound tonight. Stepping on the mound for his first appearance of the year here at Black Hills Energy Stadium, number 31, Brady Hawkins. Hawkins, the 6'3" righty from Mitchell, South Dakota, made his way into Spearfish just 2 days ago. And the audience, the crowd here, as well as everyone in that Spearfish Sasquatch dugout has been waiting for his arrival. Really excited to see what he can do. So hoping for a very exciting start for Hawkins tonight as the first batter, the leadoff batter for the Nebraska Prospects, is stepping in, getting ready. Umpire brushing off home plate. The center fielder, Matt Getzman, number 11 for the Prospects. And it is officially 6:35, right on cue for first pitch. A beautiful afternoon. Hawkins readies, and we are underway with a swing and a miss. Blew that fastball right past Getzman for strike one. So immediately being able to see the effect of that fastball from Hawkins, the 0-1. Taking a bit off the plate for ball one. As we said, it is a beautiful night, 83 degrees on the first pitch of the game. Definitely one of the hottest days we've had so far. Actually, the hottest we've had all week. It is slowly but surely, temperature has increased over the last few days. Starting to really feel the effects of this June summer here in Spearfish. And the pitch, a swing and a miss, as Hawkins rings up Matt Getzman for the first out of the inning, which is a strikeout. Hawkins' first K in a Sasquatch uniform. As Colin Lynam, the right fielder, readies against Hawkins, and that one is fouled softly down the third base line. So folks, usually I like to talk about the themes of the night fairly later into the game, but tonight I think it's imperative that I bring up exactly what the theme is. Tonight, Friday night, is Here for the Beer Night, a local favorite here in Black Hills Energy Stadium, as that one is lifted high into center field, and Ryan Bachman backtracks into shallow outfield for out number 2. So a quick 2 outs for Hawkins in his first inning with the Squatch. And the 3-hole hitter, Nolan Brown, the shortstop, stepping up. So Here for the Beer Night, As we said, if you were anywhere around the Spearfish area and pondering whether or not you should come out and decompress after a long week here at Black Hills Energy Stadium, I highly encourage you to do so. As the crowd has already rushed in through pre-sale tickets, there are plenty of people over. We have a beer garden set up for the first time this season at home. A $12 ticket that you purchase over at the party deck where the beer garden is being held. You can get a wristband and your ticket for $12, and all you can drink beer, either until the 7th inning or when those kegs run out. We originally said that the first 100 to the beer garden would be able to get those, but there are obviously plenty of more seats over in the party deck as of right now. As Hawkins trying to catch up in a 3-1 count to Brown. Unable to do so as that is taken upstairs for ball 4. Brown takes his base. So 1 on, 2 outs early in the top of the first inning. And Tristan Gomes, the first baseman, stepping in. So as we said, a steal of a deal this Friday evening. We'd love to see you out, as there are many more than 100 already filling in the stadium, but plenty of seats left over at the beer garden. After talking to General Manager Eric Schmidt a few minutes ago, it looks like we have kegs of Busch Light and Bud Light. These games last a long time. Plenty of time to enjoy your beer. As it's beginning to cool down just a bit. As we said, it was 83 degrees. Still is, but the sun is being covered up by some clouds. It tends to do that at around the 6:30 hour, as that one is lifted high and straight to center fielder Carson Green for out number 3. So after pitching around Nolan Brown, the shortstop, in the 3 spot, Brady Hawkins in his first inning appearance with the Squatch gets out of it handily. And we head for our first look at the pitcher for the Nebraska Prospects, Caleb Carpenter, as he steps onto the mound. We'll have more about him and more about this Squatch offense in just a few minutes. You're watching Squatch Baseball. Go into the bottom of the first.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
We're all going somewhere, going higher, faster, farther, going in new directions, to new places. At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. We're dedicated to advanced orthopedic care with the latest innovations, technology, expertise, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Learn more at monument.health/orthopedics.
And welcome back here. It is a beautiful Friday afternoon at Black Hills Energy Stadium in Spearfish, South Dakota, as your Squatch looking to keep a short but legit winning streak going. After winning their last two, win their first series win of the summer season against the Fremont Moo. Squatch are now playing the Nebraska Prospects, and we are in the bottom of the first inning as Johnny McHenry steps up against pitcher on the mound, Caleb Carpenter. And Carpenter with the first pitch of the night for him. Johnny takes that one for strike one. So the first extended long homestand of the year for the Sasquatch. After 6 straight games in Hastings and Nebraska last week, the Squatch returned for 3 games earlier this week against the Fremont Moo, taking 2 out of 3, including one of a Game 2 win of a doubleheader, as that one is lined right past the shortstop, and Johnny is going to round a little past first and ultimately head back for a leadoff single. Johnny's been seeing the ball well. It's been a great positive aspect of the Squatch defense. We're finally starting to see the ball very well. Squaring up on a lot of pitches they weren't able to square up on in the first few games of the season. But as we know with baseball, a lot of times with an offense, pitchers have the advantage in the early games, and that was absolutely the case against the Sasquatch. Seeming not to be so much of the case in the last few games. For the Fremont Moo, were a very good team. Squatch won Game 2 11-6. And their best offensive performance so far of the season. And won yesterday's rubber game 3-2 behind 8 innings from pitcher Jack Hostetler for the Squatch. The best pitching performance by far from a Spearfish pitcher. And now with the addition of Brady Hawkins on the mound tonight, things just continue to look up. So Bachman with a 2-0 count against Caleb Carpenter. No one out, McHenry on first, and Carpenter throws back to first base. So the Squatch have won 2 in a row, thanks to some great pitching and obviously some great offense as well. They look to keep that momentum going tonight. And Bachman grounds that one over to third, and a slip by the third baseman as he winds up and throws over to first, but not in time. Bachman is going to be safe. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Johnny McHenry now in scoring position after that infield single by Bachman. Way to hustle up the line. Gage Allen manning the hot corner for the Prospects. Was able to get to that one in time, but slid. Lost his footing for a minute. And then picked back up, but unable to get the throw to first in time. And now Carson Green. It is fun to watch this Sasquatch team when they start getting into business. Green takes that 4-1. So McHenry and Bachman now both batting over 300 on the year. And the pitch to Green, taken low, ball 2. Green batting .239 with 4 runs driven in. The story of Green's season so far should be referred. You should look at his batting average with balls in play. He's had some bad luck. And just with the Sasquatch offense throughout this early part of the season. That is looking to turn around. So now the 2-1, and McHenry trying to steal over at third, and it looks like McHenry is going to be safe at third. A great throw from the catcher for the Prospects. Jackson Stroth, but not in time. McHenry got a great jump. So a 3-1 count. Runners on the corners. Green a pitch away from loading the bases. Already 2 hits with no one out in the bottom of the first if you were just joining us. And that one is taken just a bit off the edge of the plate. That's exactly what Carpenter will do to Green. And now bases are loaded with no one out. And Gabe Springer stepping in, batting cleanup tonight and playing left field. Springer in the last 2 games of the early win streak for Spearfish has been playing at third base. Says that he's been enjoying third base, but primary position in left field is where he feels most comfortable. And that one is going to get past Stroth, and McHenry jogs home. And an early 1-0 lead for your Spearfish Sasquatch is that pitch from Carpenter is fired, but right past Stroth. So everyone takes a base. Runners on second and third now, nobody out. So far on the year, the Nebraska Prospects are 1-4. They have lost 3 in a row after winning their first of the year, and that one is popped high into foul territory for first baseman for the Prospects, Tristan Gomes. So a pop-up into foul ground, 4 out number 1. Gabe Springer walks back. And Drew Biggerstaff, the catcher for the Squatch, number 30 in his second start. Drew started game 1 of the doubleheader against the Moo the other day. Put a ball in play, drove in a run. Has another opportunity here. 1 out, 2 on. So Caleb Carpenter from Creighton University, in his third appearance of the season, he has only had 1 start. The other was an inning of relief out of the bullpen. Gave up 4 earned runs so far through 3 2/3 innings pitched. And in that 1 start, gave up 3 runs in 3 innings. That next outing was in relief. Walked 3 batters and gave up a run in 2/3 of an inning. And Carpenter in some trouble now in the bottom of the first again. As he is obviously looking for a better and much longer outing than his first 2 appearances. But he finds himself in a hole 3-0. To Drew Biggerstaff, and the pitch way outside for ball 4. And now Harrison Clark with bases loaded. As there's going to be a short mound visit to talk things over with Carpenter. Squatcher on top 1-0 early in this game. Behind 2 hits and 2 walks. A passed ball scored McHenry after his leadoff single. And now Harrison Clark in a prime time opportunity to break the door down early. He's been great with runners on in his past few games. And he takes a big hack at that one. Strike one. One of the keys to the game for interim head coach Tanner Hill, while head coach Shane Gardner is out of town for a few games. Be aggressive. On first pitches. Ambush as much as possible. We saw throughout the first few series of the year for the Sasquatch, they were watching seemingly every first pitch. Didn't want to strike, or didn't want to swing at any. They've done a much better job of that lately. And the results have been heavily in their favor. So Carpenter ahead of Clark, 1-2. Bases juiced, 1 out. In the bottom of the first, Trey Vorwald waiting on deck. And the 1-2, way outside. And Bachman didn't expect that one over on third, as Stroth was able to get to that passed ball rather quickly. So Ryan staying over at third, bases remain loaded. So the crowd enjoying here for the beer night as the beer garden continues to increase its visitors. And the 2-2. Low for ball 3, full count. The party deck has been busy as more and more people continue to head over to the beer garden. And it's always fun to see a bunch of people on the visitors, over the visitors dugout, enjoying it. And they have an exciting game already in the bottom of the first. As Clark fouls that one back. Count remains full, 3-2. Bases loaded, 1 out. And Carpenter, a busy first inning already, as Clark held back. A tricky pitch, Carpenter, a good idea, but unfortunately not executed as Clark held back. And bases are still loaded as Bachman comes home for the second run. The Squatch are on top 2-0 now. And Trey Vorwald stepping up for his first look at Colby Carpenter. So 24 pitches for Colby with only one batter retired. Fires that in for a strike down the middle. The 0-1 pitch. Up and away for ball one, excuse me. And more people continue to pile in at Black Hills Energy. As Vorwald is going to line that one, and that will get past shortstop. So now Green comes home and the throw looks to not be in time as a high hop. And Harrison Clark, trying to take advantage from second to third, will be called out, but not before 2 more runs cross. Carson Green and Drew Biggerstaff come home on the beautiful line drive from Trey Vorwald. Squatch are up 4-0. So Carpenter an out away from getting out of this traffic-filled first inning, but 4 runs already on the board and 3 hits for the Sasquatch. And Bailey Bordas, the 8-hole hitter. And the 1-0 to Bailey. Outside again for ball 2. Vorwald has been amazing with runners in scoring position as well. Had an amazing series in Fremont. And has not seemed to stop his hitting ways in the past series with Fremont at home and tonight. Lined that one right past shortstop Nolan Brown. Drove in 2 runs. So the 2-1 to Bailey. Bordas thinks about it, hangs back, ball 3. I don't have an official number of games yet for you. I'll have to look it up. But it appears that the Sasquatch just love scoring in the first inning. As Bordas takes that one outside for ball 4, the inning continues for Prospects pitcher Caleb Carpenter. And Cam Hoyland, the 9-spot hitter. As Carpenter has seen the entire Sasquatch batting lineup tonight. And he hasn't finished the first inning yet. 2 outs, but runners still on first and second, with the Squatch with a 4-0 lead. And Stroth keeps that ball in front of him, as that one was low in the dirt for ball 1. And that one gets away from Stroth, and Stroth thinks about it, but probably would not have been able to throw out Bailey Bordas, who was rushing over to second, or Trey Vorwald, who already had about a halfway distance lead. So now both runners in scoring position. Cam Hoyland looking for a little bit more magic like he had last night, as he lifted one for a solo shot over right center field wall. The first home run hit at Black Hills Energy so far this season. That had to feel good. And now with runners on second and third and a 2-0 count, we'll see if he'll swing at this one. And he does, and that one is lifted deep and high out towards right center. And unfortunately, a great catch by center fielder Matt Getzman, but just a little off the bat. Hoyland almost had a hold of that one. But nonetheless, we'll take it. A 4-0 lead as your Squatch head to the top of the second inning. We'll be right back with you. And welcome back, Squatch Nation, after an exciting first inning where your Sasquatch tagged on 4 runs in the bottom of the first off of Prospects pitcher Colby Carpenter. The new Squatch pitcher, the first appearance for him this year, Brady Hawkins, back on the mound for his second inning of work after a scoreless first. Pitching to the designated hitter to lead off the second inning for Nebraska, Ryan David. David from Omaha, Nebraska, a local. Behind 0-2. And that off speed just a bit high for ball 1. So a little bit of background on Brady Hawkins. As we mentioned, you can tell on the mound he is all of 6'3", right-handed pitcher from Mitchell, South Dakota. So not too far away in his first season with Spearfish. He's pitched at South Dakota State his past 2 seasons. And funny enough, he will be teammates this fall with fellow Sasquatch pitcher you've seen a couple of times, Dylan Ritchie, as Dylan will be pitching his first season with South Dakota State after his Tommy John surgery not too long ago, as Ryan David strikes out. A big swing and a miss for the first out of the second inning. Easy work for Hawkins. And the second baseman, Jaden Adams, stepping in. And Hawkins working fast, firing that one in for a strike 1. And so the 0-1 from Hawkins fouled back. Adams gets just a piece of it. The Prospects were out on defense for a very long time in the bottom of the first, as they struggled to retire any of the Sasquatch batters. 1 through 9 saw Colby Carpenter on the mound, and 4 runs were driven across behind 3 hits, a few walks here and there. And the Squatch were rolling early. The 1-2. And the off speed almost found the zone. Hawkins wanted it. As he's looking for another quick inning. And that one is going to be head out towards center field, but Carson Green tracks it down easily for out number 2. Cannot say enough about Carson Green's defense in center field. I feel like I probably mention it every game. Apologies if I do. But it deserves much recognition. Sliding dives to the left, to the right. Keeping deep center on lockdown against opposing teams. So 2 outs, no one on, as Jackson Stroth, the catcher for the Prospects, batting in the 7th spot tonight. Takes that one down Broadway for strike 1. Cannot beat a Friday night in Spearfish when the Squatch are playing. Outside of opening day so far this season at home, tonight holds the most number of pre-sale tickets that were bought by Squatch Nation. As people are still waiting in line to get in at the top of the second. So ahead of Stroth, 1-2. Hawkins fires, and that one catches the inside part of the zone for strike 3. Hawkins rings up Jackson Stroth for the third out as he heads back after 2 great early innings. Squatch offense coming back to work at the bottom of the second.
Health, we keep going so you can keep going. With advanced orthopedic care, technology, innovations, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the bottom of the second inning. Wynn Andrews, the voice of the Sasquatch, on the call with you tonight. It is a beautiful night for some baseball. And the Squatch agree, as they are up 4-0 early in the bottom of the second. And Colby Carpenter, excuse me, back out on the mound for inning number 2. I was right, it was Caleb Carpenter. We had a pitcher on the mound from the Moo yesterday with the name Colby. I'm going back and forth. So as we said, 1 through 9 saw Carpenter in the first inning. That means that Johnny McHenry is leading off like he's leading off the first inning here in the second, as he gives that one a ride out towards center field, but that will be an easy catch for Matt Getzman for the first out. And Ryan Bachman stepping back up to the plate. And that one is going to be a wild pitch. Excuse me, no, a strike one. As Bachman fouls that one back. And the 0-1. And Carpenter already ahead, 0-2 to Bachman, as he is already finding a much faster route in the second inning after giving up 4 runs in the first. .39 pitches through 1 1/3 for Colby, and the 0-2 fouled back once more. Bachman batting .318 on the year. He was one of the runs driven across in the first inning. He's 1 for 1 tonight. And he's battling against Carpenter. The 0-2 once more, swing and a miss. A great pitch from Colby Carpenter to retire Bachman for the second out. And Carson Green coming back around. So already Carpenter seeming to have a bit more hold and a little more control over his pitches. Quickly retiring McHenry and Bachman. After loading the bases before retiring anyone in the first. And that one is inside in the dirt to Green, 4-1. And the 1-0 outside. Drew Biggerstaff in his second inning. We'll have a lot to talk about at the top of the third about him while he is behind the plate. And that one is way outside for a 3-0 count. As we have some exciting news pertaining to Biggerstaff. And the 3-0. Outside, ball 4. So 4 straight balls. Green takes his walk. And Gabe Springer looking for another chance. Had a high fly ball into foul territory for the first out of the first. If you remember from yesterday, Springer had the game-changing sac fly in the 8th inning for the Squatch to take the 3-2 lead, which ultimately was the final score. As he takes a big hack at that one for strike 2. We are sweating up here, folks. Do not know what it is about this South Dakota weather, but this feels hotter than it is in Georgia sometimes. And that one is going to be hit foul. Speaking with a few of the players earlier, they agree. They think it's the lack of wind. There never seems to be a breeze. And obviously, elevation has a lot to do pertaining to the lack of a breeze. But it is hot. So Green on first. Springer in a 1-2 count against Caleb Carpenter. As Carpenter is looking to get out of the inning, the 1-2. Taken low. Green races back to first before Stroff can make any sort of throw. So now the 2-2 to Gabe Springer. In the same exact spot as last pitch for ball 3. So not an easy start to the season for Carpenter. 8 runs surrendered through his first 3 appearances. As that one is going to be down for ball 4. Springer comes back into that count to take a walk. Green was halfway to second, but it didn't matter. As Carpenter walked Springer, and now Drew Biggerstaff stepping in. We were going to wait until next inning to talk about his work behind the plate, but why not do it now with runners on first and second? Drew has been and will continue to be a great addition to this team as a Squatch throughout the first few series. We're going back and forth, trying to have a few guys play first, a few guys who are behind the plate. There's a lack of depth at the catching position, and Drew has filled that well through his first 2 games. And doing a great job of framing the pitches for Brady Hawkins through 2 innings tonight. And the first pitch to Biggerstaff outside. But that's not all I'm going to say about Biggerstaff, as he is from Everett Community College in his 2nd game tonight. He is just one of the new additions, the much-needed additions to this Spearfish Sasquatch roster, including Colby Schiffer, the man who shut the door on the Moo last night in the 9th inning in his first appearance. Throws the ball hard, throws it well. As he is from Loyola Marymount University, going to be a great addition, as we already saw yesterday. Brady Hawkins, obviously on the mound tonight, throwing to Biggerstaff. He is doing well through 2. And Keenan O'Brien, another catcher who is going to be able to fill in the catching role from Corbin University, and Kenji Miller, a starting pitcher who will be coming back, traveling back to Spearfish after the 5-game Idaho series in Caldwell, as the Squatch head next week to play the Caldwell County Spuds. And Kenji Miller, another example of a man who can find the zone and throws hard. So some great options behind the plate and on the mound, whether it be in the starting rotation or in the Sasquatch bullpen. Either way, things are looking good for this team, as Biggerstaff fouls that one off. Count remains at 2-2. You have to love the energy in the Sasquatch dugout. They are feeling great. Looking to extend this early winning streak to 3 games against the prospects tonight. Johnny McHenry, Ryan Bachman have been waving at me in the booth for the past, I don't know, give or take 5-6 minutes, as Biggerstaff down on strikes after a swing and a miss heads to the dugout, but your Squatch are still on top, 4-0 headed to the top of the 3rd. We'll see what Brady Hawkins has in store for us. It's a fun night so far, folks. Glad you're here with us. You're watching Squatch Baseball.
Replacement? With the area's only ROSA robot, Monument Health offers a more personalized and precise procedure, customized for your anatomy. Get going with Monument Health, your partner for advanced orthopedic care.
So they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice try.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
And we are back here in the top of the 3rd inning as Brady Hawkins readies for his 3rd inning of work and his first career appearance for the Spearfish Sasquatch. And through his first two, he has been great. Outside of a walk, he has held the prospects hitless so far and is just now facing the 8-hole hitter, Zach Johnson, the left fielder for Nebraska. And the 1-1 to Johnson. Bit outside, ball 2. So the prospects, a bit of an interesting story, as they are an only travel team. That is right, they do not have a home field. They were an all-travel team that was invited to play in the Independence League starting this year. So they were invited to play in the Independence League to help balance this league schedule between the other teams, and also just gives a great opportunity for many talented college players on this Nebraska team. And the 2-2 to Johnson. Johnson doesn't budge for a full count. And the pitch outside for a leadoff walk for the 8-spot hitter. So as we said, a bit of a unique thing for the prospects. They are not an official member of the league, but they have been invited this year to participate and play every opponent. So a busy summer as they are on the road all the time. You know that has to be a grind. As Gage Allen, the third baseman, shoots that one down right field, but foul for strike 1. So Zach Johnson on first base after the leadoff walk from Hawkins. And Allen's first look against Brady. And that one is hit hard out towards left field. And Springer is going to backtrack and not going to be able to get it as that one is off the wall. Springer fires to Johnny McHenry. And McHenry had it in time. Almost could have gotten Zach Johnson out if he didn't keep chugging to third. But gets there just in time. So, a double for Gage Allen. Runners on second and third, no one out. So the first bit of trouble tonight for Brady Hawkins comes in the top of the third inning. And now that lineup card rolls over. Matt Getzman, the center fielder. Very quick in center field as we saw him track a ball down. Earlier in the first inning. We'll see how he does at the plate against Hawkins. And the sun is beaming down now. That cloud has completely and officially moved past. So sunny and 85, we're back on it. But a beautiful day nonetheless as Hawkins fires. And that pitch is going to be in the dirt. Biggerstaff picks it up easily. No advance from either of the runners on second and third. And a 1-0 count to Matt Getzman. So one hit in the column as that one is hit out towards Carson Green in center. He is going to charge it and is going to try to throw home, and it looks like he is going to get Johnson in time. Oh. And Tanner Hill not very happy whatsoever with that call, arguing it all day long. And the ump not going to change his mind, as Green with an incredible throw from mid-center field put a charge into it, threw it all the way home. Biggerstaff caught cleanly, but apparently not in time, as Johnson seemed to be out by a mile. But here is my daily disclaimer. I can't see anything in the booth. So the Sasquatch still with the lead, but it now turns 4-1 as Johnson comes home. And it looks like the umps are going to talk it over. We'll figure out what they have to say. And now Tanner Hill wins the argument, and now the third base coach for the Prospects is going to run out. Man, this is not a pretty sight. You know, the ump is not enjoying this, having to hear it from both sides. So there had to be some significant evidence to be able to overturn that call, as the ump originally ruled safe, excuse me. What a call. As I have someone in front of me turn around and tell me instant replay. It looks like we have a booth review. That's fun. And this is the first year for instant replay, for the umps to turn around and give a decision to the crowd, as you see in the NFL. And obviously we do not have instant replay here in this matchup between the Prospects and the Sasquatch. But after the umps have been talking it over, there has been a delay, as this conversation will continue. And that one run has been erased off the board for the Prospects. But Tanner Hill walking back angrily to the dugout. And it appears that we just had, folks, we are in a bit of confusion here. Back and forth, the umps trying to figure out what happened. After the umps got together, they ruled the original call out, after originally ruling it safe. But now, based off of the anger and frustration from head coach Tanner Hill, that run has been added back to the board. So now a runner does come home for the Prospects, as that one is grounded over to McHenry. McHenry watches at second, throws over to first for out number 2. So that's more like it. McHenry fields that one cleanly. Looked over at Gage Allen at second, and fired over to first for the second out. So if you are still sitting at home in confusion, as many people probably are, after the back and forth controversial calls trying to figure out if the runner coming home was deemed safe or out, they have decided that the runner did come home, but the Sasquatch still hold a 4-1 lead with Gage Allen on second base and 2 outs. And the pitch to Nolan Brown, who's batting in the 3 spot tonight for Nebraska. Man, I haven't seen something like that in a long time. The umps weren't sure what to think of it. But either way, Brown fouls that one back. So the 1-1 pitch, bit high for ball 2. So 1 run on 1 hit for the Prospects. 3 hits, 4 runs to show for it for the Sasquatch after a very productive and busy first inning. And Brown ends up going around off of that last pitch from Hawkins for strike 2. 2-2 count. 2 outs, runner on second. Let's see what Brady can throw here. And the pitch. Fouls back once more. Hawkins loves going in between that 4-seam and 2-seam fastball. Uses that flamethrower of an arm to his advantage. As he said, he usually sits 89, 90, 91, but has topped 93. And he has shown some of that heat early tonight. So the 2-2, and that one is going to get around Biggerstaff. Couldn't figure out where it was for a minute. Next to the Sasquatch dugout, so now count runs full, and Gage Allen reaches third off of the wild pitch. So Nolan Brown from Waverly, Nebraska, the right-handed hitter from Stephen F. Austin University. In a battle with Brady Hawkins on the mound. The full count payoff pitch taken up high. 4-4. So now runners on the corners, 2 outs. As the cleanup hitter Tristan Gomes, the first baseman. So the beer garden is a hit tonight, folks. We'd still love for you to come out until the 7th inning, as that one is hit and launched out towards right field. That ball is gone. An absolute moonshot, a no-doubter from Tristan Gomes. He is batting cleanup for a reason. So with runners on first and third, Gomes just drove both of them in, and this game is tied. 4-4 now. So Ryan David stepping in, the designated hitter now with bases cleared. And there's going to be a short mound visit between Biggerstaff and Hawkins. The crowd not very happy, chirping to the umpires, saying maybe this would have been a different outcome. Maybe this game would not be tied if the runner was ruled out, as it was originally overturned earlier to be out, and then they changed their mind and went back, ruling the runner safe to put a run on the board for the prospects early. But in the game of baseball, there are plenty of what-if scenarios. So the best thing that Hawkins can do now is get a quick out on Ryan David, batting 5th tonight. So this game is tied, but if Hawkins can get out of this troublesome top of the 3rd inning, you have to believe that this Squatch offense is going to retaliate, as they have the past few games. Done a great job of squaring up on the ball in the bottom half of the innings when the opposing team puts some runs on the board. And the 0-1 finds the zone for strike 2. So Ryan David attends Southeast Community College. The 6'4" right-handed hitter. Lots of tall guys in this lineup for the prospects. And Hawkins ahead 1-2. Outside, now 2-2. An incredible crowd tonight watching Hawkins on the mound as he strikes out Ryan David. 4 out, number 3. Way to battle back after the prospects put up 4 runs in the top of the 3rd. And this is a tied ball game. But the Squatch Bats getting back to work in just a couple of moments, looking to drive some across. And we'll be right back with you. You're watching Squatch Baseball.
For summer at the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City. Trade-in values are at an all-time high, and there's never been a better time to buy. With over 400 vehicles on location, you're guaranteed to find the right ride to take you into summer. And while you're here, make sure to sign up to win some great summer gear, like a Rice Honda side-by-side, Black Hills Fireplace Traeger smoker, a variety of gift certificates, and more. Come by and check out a great selection of vehicles and summer gear at any of the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City and at menholdsummer.com.
So welcome back to a tied ball game now in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Your Squatch and the Nebraska prospects tied 4-4 after the prospects drove 4 across in a bit of a potentially controversial, I wouldn't say potentially, I would say definitely controversial 3rd inning. After Carson Green looked to make a throw to Biggerstaff behind home plate to tag out the runner from 3rd, which was eventually overturned and ruled safe. But in the game of baseball, as I've said, the Sasquatches have to keep moving forward, just keep chugging ahead. And don't worry about it. The past is the past. And look to put some runs on the board. As Harrison Clark is not happy with that one. A high fly ball out to center fielder Matt Getzman for out number 1. And Trey Vorwald stepping in for another look at the pitcher on the mound for the prospects, Caleb Carpenter. So Carpenter had a really tough 1st inning as the Squatch drove in 4, but then came out for the 2nd and looked like a completely different pitcher. Funny how this game works. And a big cut from Vorwald for strike 1. And that one in on the feet of Vorwald, steps back just a bit. Count is now 1-1. So now the 1-1 count. Swing and a miss from Trey. And now Carpenter ahead, 1-2. Let's see if Trey can put one in play. And the pitch. Fouls that one back. So whereas you see all these other teams throughout the Independence League with players coming from all over the place, we talked about it last night, plenty of West Coast players for your Spearfish Sasquatch, making the trip to South Dakota this summer. Something interesting about the Nebraska prospects is that everyone, and that one is driven out towards left field, but it looks to be in reach for the left fielder for the prospects, Zach Johnson. Just a few feet from the warning track. Forwald squared up on that one, but just a bit short for out number 2. The prospects are completely homegrown, with the exception of Jackson Struff, the man behind the plate for Nebraska, who is from Conway, Arkansas, and attends the University of Arkansas Little Rock. Every single player on this team is from Nebraska, with many of them hailing from Omaha and Lincoln especially. So you'd have to imagine, I would have to assume that many of these players already know each other from somewhere or another, maybe playing against each other in high school ball. And so now the 1-1-2 Bailey Bordas, who is in the 8 hole tonight for the Squatch. If you tuned in with us in our series in Fremont, Bordas is responsible for one of the 3 no-doubters from the Sasquatch lineup. Absolutely shot one over the left field wall in Fremont. And that was a beauty. Bordas has played plenty of third base, as well as second base and first base. So all over the infield. A solid defensive option at all times. Great utility guy. And now he is in a full count with 2 outs and no one on against Caleb Carpenter. And that one is, Bordas thought that one was a bit high. Maybe looked it from here, but called out on strikes for out number 3. And Bailey not happy with that call, as Caleb Carpenter gets through his 3rd inning of work, and this game is still tied 4-4. Well, the Squatch are coming back out for the top of the 4th. Do not go anywhere. This is a fun one, folks. Friday afternoon action. Couldn't be better than a tied ball game.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let it take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day. And everything's going your way. And you wanna make it last forever. We'll keep it together, 'cause it keeps getting better. Hey, it keeps getting better.
And we are back here in the top of the 4th inning. Your Spearfish Sasquatch are in a close one with the Nebraska prospects, visiting for their first game of this 3-game series here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. as Jaden Adams faces off against the new pitcher on the mound for the Sasquatch, Gage Crott. So Gage through 3 games. Talk about a utility guy. He does that job perfectly, as he's played plenty in the outfield. And this will be his 4th appearance so far this year as he fires that one for a strike on the mound. So 4th appearance pitching. In his last appearance, as that one is going to be a bunt down the third baseline. Adams trying to race to first off of the bunt, trying to use his speed to his advantage. But as we were saying, Crott, in his last appearance, in a 4-1 loss to Fremont Moo. In Fremont, he went 2 innings, no run ball, only giving up 1 hit, facing 7 batters. And even striking out a guy. So always fun to see him on the mound as he is ahead of Jaden Adams, the second baseman, 1-2. And the pitch is going to hit Adams as he takes his base. So Adams on first, no one out. And Jackson Stroff, the catcher, stepping in. So Gage, not too far away from home whatsoever. Hometown Belle Fourche, South Dakota, as there are many people in the crowd from Belle Fourche who make this drive to watch the Sasquatch play all the time. Gage has been enjoying his time in Spearfish. Plays for Mesabi Range College. As the bottom half of the lineup for the prospects are coming around. That one drops in for strike 2. So obviously the end of the night for Brady Hawkins with the appearance of Gage on the mound. And a swing and a miss. Put another K next to the name of Gage Crott. Retires Jackson Stroff. That's a way to do it. And Zach Johnson, the left fielder, batting in the 8th spot, who started the drama and the momentum for the prospects in the top of the 3rd, getting on base. Taking the leadoff walk in the inning against Brady Hawkins. And Gage Allen later knocking in a double to get runners on 2nd and 3rd, no one out. And then the lineup card rolled over as that one is going to be a soft grounder over to Bachman. Bachman tosses in, not in time. A bang-bang play over at first base as that one was very softly hit. And Bachman tried his best. Couldn't get it to Clark in time, so now runners on 1st and 2nd, 1 out. So a bit of hard luck there, as the prospects now have a runner in scoring position in Jaden Adams. And the 9-spot hitter, Gage Allen, the 3rd baseman, who, as we saw in the 3rd, knocked in that double. And was ultimately one of the 4 runs driven in after Tristan Gomes hit an absolute missile out to right field for a home run to even this game up. And the pitch Nice pitch, but just a bit off the plate. Ball 2. And now is about the time. The sun's starting to go down. Clouds starting to make their way in around Black Hills Energy Stadium. And they're going to try a double steal as Johnny McHenry tries. And the throw from Biggerstaff just a bit high. McHenry grabbing it midair, but unable to apply the tag in time. So a successful double steal for both Adams and Johnson. And now Gage in a 3-1 count. And that one is going to be hit. And Clark unable to get it as that one is going to be blooped down the right field line, right past first base. And Biggerstaff has another chance, and that time he is able to get Zach Johnson out. As the home crowd explodes with excitement. So a run crosses off of the single from Gage Allen. He's 2 for 2 on the night. But Johnson tried his luck coming around third. And the great throw tags him out at home for out number 2. So Allen on first with Matt Getzman, the center fielder and the leadoff hitter for Nebraska tonight. And the Prospects have a 5-4 lead with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. And the pitch, a big swing and a miss. Swinging out of his shoes on that one. You will not see it on many pitches, but Gage has an absolutely filthy knuckleball. Would love to see one here. As Matt Getzman is called out on strikes. Doesn't agree with it, but he can't do anything about it. Heads back to the dugout. So Crotch strikes out Matt Getzman, but not before the Prospects take a 5-4 lead, their first lead of the night. Hopefully not for long as the Squatch Bats are looking to wake up and get back in this thing. We'll be right back with you.
All Balanced Bookkeeping, located right here in Spearfish, is your go-to place for all of your bookkeeping needs. Serving Spearfish for over 2 years, we have over 30 years of bookkeeping experience and can take care of any office tasks, large or small. Contact us now to get in touch with one of our many experienced bookkeepers.
So Cam Hoyland stepping in here as we begin the bottom of the 4th inning. Hoyland, the 9-hole hitter, but no less dangerous of a bat. He proved that yesterday with a game-tying home run over the right field wall. We'd love to see one of those here in the 4th inning against Caleb Carpenter. As the Squatch are currently down 5-4. As they drove a runner in off of a bloop single right over the outstretched arm of Harrison Clark last inning at first. So the 1-1 to Cam. fouls that one back. So 70 pitches on the dot now for Caleb Carpenter in the bottom of the 4th inning. After a very laborious first inning. And the off speed, a beauty. Strikes out Cam Holland for out number 1. And Johnny McHenry stepping back in as the lineup rolls over. The entire Sasquatch offensive lineup tonight saw Carpenter in that first inning. But since then, Caleb has calmed down tremendously. Had a lot more control of the strike zone. And has been retiring the Sasquatch batters much quicker. So 4 hits, 5 runs now for the Prospects, and 4 runs on 3 hits for the Sasquatch. Hoping for those numbers to change by the end of the game. And it is officially 8 o'clock here in Spearfish. Beginning to get just a bit darker. And a hearty swing, but a miss from McHenry. And Carpenter now ahead 1-2. As the stadium lights will be starting to turn on in the next few minutes, you would have to guess. And the 1-2 to Johnny. Taken 4-2. And speaking of it, the stadium lights are turning on now. And that was a bit weird. And that one is lined right back to Carpenter. McHenry is going to beat it out easily. 4, an infield single. Squared that one up perfectly. And Carpenter tried to put a glove on it as that one came at him fast. Luckily, it was just part of the glove that hit him. Or the ball just got part of the glove, excuse me. And so Struth runs out there to discuss the strategy against the 2-hole hitter Ryan Bachman, who is 2. Johnny McHenry is now 2 for 3 on the night. And the pitch to Bachman, way down low, 4-1 in the dirt. During that first inning, there was no telling how long Carpenter was going to be able to stay on the mound, and he has really punched back. He is now through 3 1/3, helping out the Prospects bullpen, undoubtedly. Throws that one in for a strike. And a 1-1 count to Bachman. And folks, if you were still bored tonight, maybe watching the game from somewhere around Spearfish at home, the beer garden is still operating until the 7th inning or when the keg runs out. And the keg has not run out yet. So chances are you have a great chance to be able to come here, get a ticket, and enjoy this great game. As it is here for the beer night. And there is a crowd for it. So now Bachman ahead, 3-1. McHenry on first, just 1 out. And the pitch from Carpenter is taken for a strike. Ryan thought about it for a second, held back. So now count runs full. And the full count, fouled off once more. McHenry looking to steal. A beautiful night at Black Hills Energy. Can't say it enough. I'd have to vouch and say, go out on a limb here, and assume that we probably have the most beautiful stadium in all of the Independence League, just when you look at the view around us, the beautiful mountains. Something that you don't see in many other areas when the Sasquatch travel. And I have seen that firsthand through my travels with the team in this early part of the season. So we're going to try again here, as Carpenter and Bachman are locked in a 3-2 battle. And the payoff pitch, taken outside for ball 4. So now runners on first and second, 1 out. As the ever-patient Ryan Bachman takes his base. And it looks like this will be the end of the line after 3 1/3 innings for Caleb Carpenter. And the prospects are going to call to their bullpen. As the bullpen has been up and working for the past inning. So 4 runs surrendered from Caleb Carpenter, all in the first inning. But was still able to come back out for the prospects and work out 2 1/3 innings more of work. So now it's looking like we have a new pitcher on the mound. And it looks to be Jaden Payne, number 24. So Carson Green taking his practice swings. A 5-4 ball game. The prospects are currently in the lead, but runners on first and second, only 1 out. Yesterday's game against the Fremont Moo was one to remember all season. As at this point last night, at the 8 o'clock mark, we were already in the 7th inning. Tonight, not the same story, only in the bottom of the 4th. And that was just attributed to the amazing pitching performances from the starting pitcher, Jack Hosteller, who went 8 innings of just 2-run ball. And the exact same for the Fremont Moo pitcher, who was able to go 7. So a pitcher's duel and more of an offensive night for both teams. And the crowd getting into it here as another great scoring opportunity for the Sasquatch. Is potentially in play here, with Carson Green at the plate. Takes that one for a called strike 1. So Payne, Jaden Payne, the relief pitcher from Southeast Community College. Plays with 3 other people on the Nebraska Prospects team. Jackson Meyer and Ryan David, the other 2 members of Southeast Community College. And Payne has pitched 3 2/3 innings so far this season. And the 1-2 to Green. Fouled off just in time. Carson somehow got a piece of that one. And we'll try again. So this has been quite the interesting game to this point. As that one is in on Green's feet. Ball 2. A 4-run bottom of the first for the Squatch. A 4-run top of the third to tie this ball game for the Prospects. Behind a bit of controversy as that one is lifted high out towards left field, but that will be an easy play for Zach Johnson. Throws back in for out number 2. So Green put it in play, but it was just a high fly ball out to Johnson. So neither runner advances. Now 2 outs, and Gabe Springer looking to find a gap. Been putting the ball in play plenty. Just hasn't had many drop yet. Would be a perfect opportunity here in the bottom of the 4th against Payne. And that one is pulled foul past the Prospects dugout and the bullpen, and probably in the parking lot. But make no mistake about it, when Gabe Springer turns on one, it is dangerous business. You don't want to be the guy on the mound. Takes a clean hack at that one. Strike 2. So now Payne ahead 0-2. And that one is in the dirt as they're going to try a double steal. And that one is going to get past him, the second baseman. And that is going to score McHenry, and Bachman is going to be safe at third. So Strom's throw to second base, just a bit behind him. And Jaden Adams unable to come up with a clean tag. Ball gets past him. McHenry comes home. Bachman able to steal third. The Squatch have now tied this ball game 5-5. And Bachman still on third with a 1-2 count to Springer. And lifts that one behind us for another foul ball. And the 1-2. And that one is hit out towards center field, but it is going to be hit directly at the center fielder for the Prospects, Matt Getzman. Does a little leap when he catches it. But regardless, the Squatch still pull through, get a run across here in the bottom of the 4th inning. We head to the top of the 5th, tied 5-5.
less than a shot of beer in these cups. The objective is to drink and get all 3 cups slipped first. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, 1 down. Neck and neck here.
Somebody's got more experience at this than the other.
2 down here. Give it up for Kendall and Rachel.
Nick Bailey and Simon and all their volunteers. Hey, we want to give a big thank you to Fleet Farm too for sponsoring it.
And welcome back to the top of the 5th inning. Your Sasquatch have driven a run across in the bottom of the 4th on a wild throw to second base to get one as that one is grounded over to third. And Bordas off of his back foot fires to third, and that one is going to be in the dirt. Harrison Clark unable to come up with it, and that will be a leadoff double. Technically would have been a single, but after the throw from Bordas, somehow, some way, found a way to even get that throw to first, but Clark unable to dig it in the dirt, which means that Colin Lynham, the right fielder, is standing up at second base with no one out. And Gage Crott in his 2nd inning of relief. After 3 innings of work for the starting pitcher tonight, in his first appearance, Brady Hawkins for the Squatch, and that one is lined up to McHenry. McHenry charging, fires over to first for the first out of the inning. So a runner now on third, as McHenry with the running throw. So Brown puts it in play to advance Lynham, and Tristan Gomes stepping up and up to the plate. Not necessarily the most comfortable at bat for Gage Crott. And the pitch right down the middle for a called strike. If you remember in the 3rd inning, the reason that there were 4 runs on the board was courtesy of a 3-run shot from Tristan Gomes to tie the game. After a run scored earlier, it was a 4-1 ball game, but not for long. Put it into play and lifted it high over the right field wall. And Crott looking to make sure that does not happen again. The 1-1. And that one is going to be sharply hit over first base, and that one is going to drive Lyman home. And that will be a single for Tristan Gomes. So the Prospects now have a 6-5 lead after driving in the runner from third. Tristan Gomes having himself a night offensively. And Ryan David, the designated hitter, with Gomes on first. And Crott fires that fastball, but taken for a ball. So now the Prospects, 6 hits, 6 runs to show for it. They've done a great job as well of scoring opportunities when their runners have gotten on base. It has been a back and forth affair so far in this one. We're only in the top of the 5th. Gage drops one in the zone for strike 1. It is now a 2-1 count to Ryan David. And the pitch, as that one is hit high out towards center field, but it'll be a can of corn just a few steps in for Carson Green for out number 2. And Jaden Adams, the second baseman. Who was hit by a pitch from Crott in that top of the fourth. And so there's going to be a stolen base as Gomes easily advances to second. Timed it perfectly. During Crott's windup, he was already about halfway up the line. And so now the 0-1. A bit high for ball one. Count now runs 1-1. Runner on second in the form of Tristan Gomes and 2 outs. And Gage looking to get out of this one. The pitch. And that was going to be hit sharply, but straight to Johnny McHenry at short for out number 3. So Prospects get one back over as they lead 6-5 headed to the bottom of the 5th. But as we've seen all night so far, it's just been back and forth. Wouldn't be surprised if we see 1, 2, 3 runs score in the bottom of the 5th. Hopefully that is the case. Squatch Bats getting back to work. We'll be right back with you. You're watching Squatch Bats. And welcome back with us here in the bottom of the 5th inning. This is Win Andrews, your voice of the Sasquatch. And we have a tight one tonight against the Nebraska Prospects. This is game 1 of a 3-game series. Prospects pulled in today, and they have a 1-run lead through the top of the 5th inning. The Sasquatch looking to change that with Drew Biggerstaff up at the plate, looking to get his night going offensively. And that one is lifted out of here into the parking lot. Now I say parking lot a lot because we quite simply are only a few feet away while we're here in the booth. Not too far away from the parking lot at all. And Payne ahead, 0-3, and that one is fair. Excuse me, it is not. For some reason we thought it was fair. I thought it was fair, but my vision, as you already know in this booth, it is impaired. It is now still an 0-2 count. And Biggerstaff's going to try again. That one seemed to be right over the third base bag, but just inches away. Umpire ruled it foul. So Biggerstaff will try again against Payne, and that one is hit out towards center field, and it is going to drop for a single for Biggerstaff. So if at first you don't succeed, try again, and that's exactly what he did. Lined one out into left center. So Biggerstaff on first, nobody out. And so now Harrison Clark up at the plate as the sun is still peeking through these clouds, highlighting the scoreboard in left field. So Biggerstaff on first. Clark looking to put it into play. It's that one foul. And Payne is quickly ahead 0-2. So after each team scored a run in the 4th inning, the Prospects drove another one across in the top of the 5th. It would be no surprise of mine if the Squatch did the exact same thing. The temperature is starting to drop significantly. It is now at 76 here in Spearfish. As the sun is starting to set, only a couple of minutes from sunset. And the stadium lights are on. Been a great day for baseball. The 1-2. Close, but no cigar. A 2-2 count. Clark watched that one. So now 17 pitches for Jaden Payne, the 2-2. And Clark backs up and is going to be called out on strikes for the first out of the inning. And now Trey Vorwald looking to put it into play, looking to advance Biggerstaff after a leadoff single from Drew. Trey off to a great start offensively. Hopefully can keep that going here. And that pitch finds the zone for strike one. And the 0-1. We talk about how the Squatch have been hungry for some success. You have to imagine the Prospects are the exact same way. Losers of their last 3 after winning their first game of the year. Only played 5. Or excuse me, losers of their last 4 after winning their first game. So they are 1-4 and they only played 5 games. And that one is way outside. Stroth extends to catch that pitch. So 1 on, 1 out with a 2-1 count to Trey Vorwald. And a big swing and a miss. Strike 2. Jaden Payne has filled in behind Caleb Carpenter, who went 3 1/3 after a tough start in the bottom of the first inning. So now the count runs full. Squatch are down 1 in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch, swing and a miss. Payne blew it right past Trey for strike 3. And now 2 are retired. And Bailey Bortis giving a shot, one of those missiles to left field like he did in Fremont. That would be nice right about now. Perfect chance to put the Squatch ahead again. But not to be, as that one is a high fly ball right on the infield, and Jaden Adams is going to catch that cleanly for out number 3. So, a great inning of relief for Jaden Payne after a leadoff single from Biggerstaff. And the Squatch coming back out on defense as we head to the top of the 6th. We'll be right back, folks. It's only a 1-run game. Do not go anywhere. Plenty of baseball left to be played.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
So coming to you live here in the top of the 6th inning, your Squatch are currently down 6-5 to the Nebraska Prospects in Game 1 of this 3-game series. Gage Crott on the mound for his 3rd inning of relief. After he took over for the starter Brady Hawkins, his first appearance for the Sasquatch from South Dakota State University. Started off brilliantly through his first 2, ran into trouble in the 3rd, and after a controversial call that ruled a runner safe at home, 3 runs followed after an absolute blast from Tristan Gomes, the first baseman for the Prospects. Tied the game at 4, and that became the end of the line for Hawkins on the day, as he was probably limited to a certain pitch count after just being a member of the Squatch for a couple of days. They're going to need him for the series in Idaho. After Game 3 on Sunday, the Sasquatch will immediately travel the nice 16-hour road trip on a bus to play the Caldwell County Spuds in Idaho. And obviously, they decided to play as many as they possibly could so they don't have to make that trip again. 5 games all in all, and the Spuds will visit us later on in the season here in South Dakota, as Crott issues a leadoff walk to Jackson Stroth, the catcher. 7, 8, 9 we're due up for the Prospects in this inning, and Zach Johnson now batting in the 8th spot. So the 7, 8, 9 guys being a huge problem tonight against the Spearfish pitching staff, as Johnson and Gage Allen in the 9 spot have been responsible for a lot of these runs driven across. Whether it be putting it on plate to get on base or driving in runs themselves, they have done their job in the bottom 3rd of the lineup. Letting the lineup card roll around. And Crott throws that one way outside. Great stop from Biggerstaff to keep that one in front of him. As Stroth might have challenged it, tried to go to second, but instead he stays at first. And the 2-0 count now to Johnson. And a swing and a miss, a foul tip into the glove of Drew for strike 1. And now the 2-1. Taken 4, strike 2. So Gage has fought himself back into this count. And looking to retire Zach Johnson. It's really exciting to see as more players continue to fill in for each team across the Independence League. Just how much these new players can contribute for the Sasquatch. I talked about him earlier, with Brady Hawkins obviously being one of them. Keenan O'Brien, another catcher to fill in when bigger staff Johnson and Carr are needing a day off. He'll be getting plenty of starts this season as Crott issues another walk. So 2 walks in the inning for Gage. Now runners on first and second with nobody out and Gage Allen. So Johnson 1 for 1. Now another walk to get on base. And Gage Allen has been hitting it well tonight. But with Kenji Miller coming in after the Idaho trip, Colby Schiffer closing it down last night, we might see him in some starts. The best part of it all, there's a lot more to come in June. Plenty of players still have not made the trip to Spearfish. This is only the start. But for now, the Squatch are doing the best they can with a roster full of players who haven't made the trip here yet. And now the 0-1 from Crott. Excuse me, that was ball 1. I'm going to have to stand up. I have a limited vision of the scoreboard, making me think that that was an 0-1 count. So now I am standing up, the 1-0. Taken upstairs for ball 2. And a busy night here at the ballpark. Plenty of people crowded in to watch this game. Nothing better than Friday night baseball. 383 to be exact. For our attendance number for the night. So the 2-1. Allen shows bunt. But that is going to be a strike 2. And now Gage looking to get out of it against the 9-hole hitter. And Allen down on his luck, swing and a miss. Courtesy of Gage Crott, blew it right by him for out number 1. So Stroth on second, Johnson on first. And now Matt Getzman, the center fielder, leading off. Stepping back in. The Squatch turned a couple of double plays last night in game 2. Would be very fitting. Would be great to see one here. So now the 0-1 from Crubble. The runner's on first and second, and that one is hit high and deep out. Green backtracking, going to be able to get to that one very easily. And you do not want to try the arm of Carson Green. We saw it tonight already. Made an incredible throw home. He has quite the arm on him. So the catcher, Stroth, thought about it for a second, decided smartly to head back. As that ball got to McHenry in a hurry, probably would have been thrown out at third. And now Colin Lynham, the right fielder. Takes that one for a ball, a 1-0 count. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. So Crott looks back as Stroth is being very fidgety over there on the base path. At second. And now the 1-0 to Lynham. Down low 4, ball 2. 6 runs on 6 hits for the Prospects. And 1 error attributed to both teams. And the 2-0. That one is fouled back. So as we said earlier, with a 3-game series against Fremont and the 3-game series against the Prospects extending into tomorrow and Sunday afternoon, this is the first extended homestand of the year for the Squatch. Great numbers, very inspiring. It's great to see the Spearfish community come out for these games. As Lyman is going to be hit with that one, and bases are now loaded with 2 outs. But Spearfish embraces this team, and it is evident through the turnout game after game. In game 1, a doubleheader that was not supposed to be a doubleheader originally. The other day after, it was postponed because of a storm passing through. People still showed up and showed out for a 4 o'clock game on a Wednesday afternoon. And that's not very heard of. And that just speaks to the dedication of these fans. They don't leave until the final out. As that one is called strike. A 1-1 count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Crowd looking to escape this traffic jam. And the pitch. Taken a bit low for a ball. The crowd not happy with that call. As Nolan Brown, the shortstop, hitting in the 3 spot tonight, up at the plate. And that one is going to be a ball as well. So now, Crott has to throw a strike to keep this a 1-run game. So the 3-1 to Brown. And way inside. Crott did not fool Nolan Brown, and that is going to drive in a run via walk. And now Tristan Gomez, who has had luck with runners on tonight, with a 3-run blast in the 3rd inning, and also driving another run in after shooting one into right field. So the Prospects now on top of the Squatch here in the top of the 6th, 7-5. And hopefully it stays that way. Crowd throws that one a bit outside, and now the count goes 1-1. And Biggerstaff's going to have a bit of a mound, probably a bit of a talk with Crott on the mound, trying to calm him down. Been quite the stressful inning for Gage in his 3rd inning of relief. So after Sunday afternoon, 13th and 14th off, that Monday and Tuesday, Spearfish travels to Idaho for 5 games, and then returning on the 21st of June for another 6-game series against the Gem City Bison, and then a 3-game series against the Badlands Big Sticks. And we've seen them a couple of times. We played them in the first 6 games of the season. 3 at their place, 3 at ours. So with a 7-5 game, Coach Tanner Hill decides to take Gage Crud out in the middle of a 1-1 count. And now the pitcher Drew Hetke on the mound for the Squatch. As he'll take a few warm-up pitches. He's been in the pen for the last inning. So Tristan Gomes still the result of his at-bat still hanging in the balance, as Drew Hetke will have to immediately come in on a 1-1 count as Gage is done. Still 2 outs, but bases loaded, and a 2-run lead for Nebraska. And Hetke looking to turn it around here. But as a pitcher, it is never easy to come in on someone else's count. So Drew will have to show control, which he has done. He knows how to attack the zone. The 1-1, taken for strike 2. Would be a huge spot. The biggest moment of the season so far for Drew Hetke, most likely. If he's able to get out of this against Tristan Gomes, the pitch. And that one is launched straight over to third base as Bailey Bortis comes up with the catch. And that will retire the side. Drew Hetke comes in for 2 pitches and is able to effectively get out of the bases loaded jam. So the Squatch have a 2-run deficit to try to come back from, but that is evident they are obviously able to do that. They've done it many times before. We'll see what they can do. And welcome back with us here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. I'm Win Andrews, voice of the Sasquatch, reporting to you live from Spearfish in Game 1 of this matchup with the Nebraska Prospects. The Prospects have a 7-5 lead coming into the bottom of the 6th, and the Squatch looking to turn around here with Cam Hoyland, the 9-hole hitter, leading off. So the Squatch have their work cut out for them. Against another inning of relief from the pitcher for the Prospects, Jaden Payne. And the 1-1 to Cam. Bends backwards to avoid getting hit. 2-1. And the 2-1, as that one is going to be lined right past shortstop for an infield single. So that's exactly what you were looking for. And Johnny McHenry, the leadoff hitter, as the lineup card to start it over once more. Cam Hoyland did exactly what he needed to do. Nolan Brown, the shortstop, unable to get to that one. Didn't hit it hard, but he found the exact spot he wanted to in the infield. In between third and short. So it would be a huge spot here for McHenry to come through. And a huge hack. Strike 2. So the Prospects added a run in the top of the 6th after a bases loaded walk. And with the end of the day for Gage Crott, Drew Hetke came in, as that one is hit high and to shallow right. Second baseman Jaden Adams coming in on it to make the catch. Saving a few steps for Colin Lyman, the right fielder, for out number 1, and Ryan Bachman stepping in. So Gage Crott was taken out with a 1-1 count with 2 outs and the bases loaded. And Coach Tanner Hill made the decision to throw Drew Hetke in there in the middle of the 1-1 count, and it proved to be a great decision. Hetke threw 2 pitches, and the batter for the Prospects lined out directly to Bailey Bordas to win the inning to keep this game in control, as the Squatch are looking to claw their way back into it. So 1 on, 1 out, the 7-5 game to Bach. Fouls that one back. 0-2. We hope that you're able to join us for the next 2 games. A 6:35 first pitch Saturday afternoon, which is tomorrow, obviously, and then Sunday, a 4:05 first pitch. Should be exciting games for both, as this has proven to be a very exciting matchup through the top of the 6th inning. Saturday and Sunday is supposed to be mostly sunny. Could be beautiful, as it was today. Maybe a little cooler. That would be ideal, but not complaining. I really haven't seen something like a summer in Spearfish, South Dakota. It is something else. The 2-2 to Bach, fouls it back once more. The Squatch looking to do anything they can to tire the arm of Jaden Payne. And that one is going to be hit out towards, hugging the left field line, and that is going to get Hoyland out towards third. McHenry Bachman with a stand-up double. That's exactly what we're looking for. As he motions over to the dugout, a stand-up double for Ryan Bachman. A high fly ball out towards Johnson. As he is shaded way right, and that ball dropped with ease. Very close to the left field line, but very fair. So here is an awesome opportunity for Carson Green, batting in the 3 spot with runners on second and third after the double from Bachman. And we'll see what Carson can do. Payne's thrown a lot of pitches tonight, having to come in after the 3rd inning. And a big hack for strike one. So that pushes Ryan Bachman's night to 2 for 3 effort. He is getting better and better with each game. And the 0-1 fouled back once more. That off speed. Good pitch. Green got a bit of it. Strike two. So now the Squatch have a 7-6 advantage in the hit category. Looking to catch back up in the runs. And all it would take with one out is just a single to the outfield. If Green can somehow make a pitch drop, but unfortunately he is caught out on strikes on the inside part of the plate. Strike three. Green didn't swing, so now Springer stepping in with Bachman on second and Hoyland on third. And I'd say Springer's due. That was a beauty of a pitch for strike three against Green. Don't want to see any more of those. 7-5 ball game. Squatch have runners on, and as that one was lifted out towards center field, and that is going to be an easy catch for Matt Getzman for out number 3. So Squatch gets some runners on. Second and third in scoring position with one out, unable to convert, but still 3 innings to go. So just got to keep him at bay, but we'll be right back with you. 7-5 ball game, Prospects lead.
Do you know the locals' choice for gaming excitement? It's the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. With new games arriving every month, our selection of slot machines is the freshest in town. You can always find a game with our card tables open 24 hours a day. And parking is free and easy at the Lodge, with the area's largest free parking only steps away from our front door. Enjoy spacious and comfortable gaming at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice.
And welcome back with us to the top of the 7th inning. Your Squatch are currently down 7-5. Only takes a bloop and a blast to take care of that and potentially tie this game. But first we got to get through the top of the 7th with Drew Hetke on the mound for the Squatch. As he filled in for the final out of the 6th, getting out of a bases loaded jam to keep this game at only 2 runs. And a big swing and a miss from Ryan David, the 5-hole hitter tonight and the designated hitter. As Hetke is looking to get going on the mound for a good outing. I talked to him the other day, and his issue throughout his first few appearances on the mound this year, none of it has involved hitting around or pitching around the strike zone. He has been pounding the zone almost every pitch. Control has not been the problem. Hetke in many at-bats throughout the first few games he's pitched in has gotten ahead of many batters 0-2. The third strike is the problem. As he does pitch into the zone all of the time, hitters have just found a bunch of luck, being able to square one up on an 0-2 count and putting it in play. So now the 2-2, not that time, as Ryan David is rung up on strike, excuse me. A swing and a miss for out number 1 from Drew Hetke. And now Jaden Adams, the second baseman, batting in the 6th spot. So 1 out, no one on. And that had to feel good for Drew. The 2-2 count. Blew it right past Ryan David. Looking to have some more of that luck against Jaden Adams. Fouls that one back. So now exactly 9 o'clock Mountain Time here in Spearfish. After a 6:35 first pitch. As both offenses have had their share of runs. Your Sasquatch were up 4-0 at the end of the first inning. A quick surge offensively as that one is grounded to McHenry. McHenry fires over to first, and Clark gets his foot on the bag in time. A bit of a high throw, but he is able to take it down with him on the jump for out number 2. And now Jackson Strofe, the catcher. So 9 pitches for Drew to this point. And fires to Stroth. But he did not go around. Ball 1. Made the appeal over to first base real quick. But Stroth did not go around. The 1-0. Bit inside. Ball 2. So 2-0. And that one does not find the strike zone. So now it is a 3-0 count. Hetke does not find himself in many of these situations. Behind in the count, but he fires. And that one is a strike. For the 3-1. And fires again. Strike 2. Stroth thought he had a walk, but instead, he awaits another pitch from Drew on the full count, and a swing and a miss. An incredible inning from Drew Hetke. And he's going to feel good about that one as he keeps this score 7-5. And the Squatch Bats ready to put some runs on the board. We'll see if they can do it after we finish the 7th inning stretch. We're headed to it right now. Kids are ready to run the bases. We hope you're watching with us. It is a fun game. Glad to have you here. And we welcome you back here in the bottom of the 7th, live from Black Hills Energy Stadium, as your Spearfish Sasquatch are looking to put a few runs on the board. They are down 2 in a 7-5 ball game after the Prospects drove a run across in the 5th and the 6th innings. So the Squatch find themselves down 2. But as I said earlier, only a bloop in the blast. That's all it takes. Maybe we can do that here with Drew Biggerstaff at the plate. So an 0-1 count against Jaden Payne, who is out there for another inning of relief. He has been great. The Squatch have been held scoreless in the 5th and the 6th innings. Don't want that trend to continue. After Drew Hetke just had a heck of a top of the 7th, excuse me. Fanned 2 guys and had a soft ground out. McHenry took care of that one as he fired over to Clark. So a quick 3 outs for Drew Hetke. You can expect to see him back in the 8th inning. But for now, as that one is lined down the third base line, and that is fair. As Drew is going to hustle over to second base and slide just in time for a leadoff double for Drew Biggerstaff. As he motions over to the dugout, that is the magic call. They're performing magic right now. Hopefully the magic continues. And Harrison Clark looking for another chance with Drew Biggerstaff on second. The Squatch have had a couple of opportunities in the past few innings, getting guys on with only 1 out, had Bachman on second and Hoyland on third. Couldn't do anything with it though, hoping to change that luck in this inning. So that one drops in for called strike 1 against Clark. Let's see what Harrison can do. Taking a bit outside, ball 1. So now runner on second, no outs, the pitch, outside again. We've seen plenty of back and forth between these two offenses, but not much action from the Squatch bats against Jaden tonight. And he appears to be getting a bit tired. Steps off the mound awkwardly, and they're going to have a quick mound visit, as there are some pitchers warming up in the Prospect bullpen. And the Jeopardy music begins. So if Jaden Payne sticks it out, you would have to imagine he does, with a 3-1 count in the works against Harrison Clark. And they will let him finish as he stays on the mound. Stroth walks back behind the plate. And it was great to see Drew Biggerstaff line that one down the third base line. Had one earlier in the game. Everyone could have sworn it was fair. I could have sworn it was fair. Just off the top of the third base bag, and that one is popped high as Stroth motions in next to the Spearfish dugout, but unable to make the play as the ball will be right next to the protective netting. So Clark bailed out of that one. And now a full count. As this Sasquatch offense is looking to take advantage of Jaden Payne through 2 2/3 innings. So far, the payoff pitch fouled off again. If you're in town by any means tomorrow, we'd love to see you for the 6:35 first pitch in Game 2 of this series. Hopefully following a Sasquatch win tonight, as that one is grounded over. Clark is racing to first, but not in time for out number 1 as Nolan Brown fires over to Tristan Gomes. And that keeps Biggerstaff at second. And Trey Vorwald put the ball in play in the first inning. Looking to continue the magic. In the bottom of the 7th. A nice hack, but a strike 1 nonetheless. So for the prospects, Gage Allen at third. And that one is going to be hit up the middle, a soft grounder, but Adams racing in, fires over to first in time. A great play as Adams charged in on that one. So now 2 consecutive outs for Jaden Payne. But Biggerstaff able to advance to third on the grounder. And here's to hoping that Bailey Bordas can keep this inning alive. Batting in the 8th spot tonight. 8 hits now for the Squatch. But still find themselves down by 2 with 2 outs in the 7th inning. And Payne fires. Taken outside for a ball. And the pitch. Appear to be a breaking ball from here for strike 1. So now the 1-1. Fouled off, hit the ump. Seems to be okay for a strike 2. So the Squatch looking for their 5th win of the year tonight. They got to make a run and put some runs across in the next 3 innings in order to do that. As Bordas awaits a 2-2 from Payne. And the pitch outside. Payne keeps sort of falling off the mound. Seems like something's bothering him. Not sure what it could be. But he has pitched a great game for Nebraska to this point. So now the full count to Bordas, and the pitch way outside, ball 4. So now runners on the corners. We've seen this a couple of times. 2 outs. So now Cam Hoyland, we saw him lead off the last inning with a hit. Let's see if he can do it again here. Takes a big swing. We love seeing Cam hitting 9th. An absolute weapon offensively. Who in many other lineups probably would not be batting 9th. But it's a perfect strategy as that one is pulled foul down the right field line. So now Payne, a strike away as he is ahead 0-2. A strike away from getting out of this inning. And that one is taken low, ball one. So if this inning is extended after Hoyland, McHenry in the on-deck circle, but it is not to be after a swing and a miss from Cam Hoyland. Takes a big hack, but Jaden Payne, through 3 2/3 of excellent relief for the Prospects, heads back into the dugout, and the Squatch still looking to come back down 2. So we'll see Drew Hecky take the mound once more in the top of the 8th. We hope you're watching with us. It could come down to the wire. We hope it does.
Processing needs. Their number is 888-618-2122. It's Pacific Stainless Products Incorporated. The Falls Bottom Beach is the biggest variety of bar games in the entire Northern Hills. They make me pool, they make me darts, they got ping pong, they got shuffleboard. How about boosters for the ring of the bell? They've got something for everyone at Falls Bottom. Make Falls Bottom your first stop following the ball game. Are you looking to make home improvements to your house? Look no farther than Connect's Home Center, located off of exit 14. They've got everything you need for their next project. It's Connect's Home Center in Spearfish. 605 Media and Entertainment is a production agency based out of Spearfish. Services include commercial video production, audio visual for live events, wedding DJing, filming weddings. Find out more about 605 Media and Entertainment on their website, 605media.com. We go to the top of the 8th inning now. Leading off for the Prospects will be Zach Johnson.
And welcome back here in the top of the 8th inning. Your Squatch are down 7-5. In a close game that has been back and forth the entire night. And Drew Hecky back on the mound, throwing some of the best pitches I've seen him throw so far this season. As another swing and a miss from Zach Johnson in the 8-hole tonight for the Prospects. As we talked about earlier, this 7-8-9 has been deadly, getting on base seemingly every time that order comes around. As he grounds that one over to McHenry, and McHenry unable to come up with it on the sliding dive. Almost had a beautiful play, but hit just a bit too sharply from Johnson. And a tricky hop on the ground. Just not an easy play whatsoever. So Zach Johnson with a leadoff single. Exactly what I was telling you about. You know, that proves it perfectly. That is a perfect example of how the Prospects have gotten a lot of their runs tonight. 7 of them to this point. But through the help of Zach Johnson and Gage Allen especially, letting that lineup roll over when they get on base or drive guys in, they have been very important for this Prospects offense. And a very significant reason why they have a 7-5 lead against Spearfish here in the 8th. So Hecky got ahead 0-2 behind 2 blazing fastballs. And a good job from Johnson to square it up. McHenry unable to come up with it. As now Gage Allen hitting in the 9-hole. So Johnson 2 for 2 on the night. And Allen at the plate is 2 for 3. So now the runner on first. Allen takes that for a called strike 1. I love the seemingly no fear from Drew Hecky. If he's nervous at all, he never shows it on the mound. He is always attacking hitters directly. never going to waste any time. Can throw high heat, but also knows that he can trust pitching to contact. As he is through 1 1/3. Only has 21 pitches so far. That one is a bit inside. So now the 2-1 count to Gage Allen. Allen only batting .230 to start the year. Had a good night tonight. Takes a big swing for strike 2. Let's see if Drew can retire Gage Allen. So now the even count, fouled back. So a great night of Friday night baseball. I was trying to say it earlier, we hope that you'll be able to join us tomorrow on Saturday. We have an alma mater, hold on now, as there is a swing and a miss for a strike, but a steal from a pinch runner for the Prospects. And we will have a name for him whenever we get to it. And that will be Camden Madsen, who is on second base, pinch running for Zach Johnson. So Hecky once again strikes out Gage Allen. That's a huge out. Although Camden will advance to second. And that one is going to be lined into right field. Hoyland trying to track it down. Tricky hop. Tries to throw as they're a great way of tracking it down in time. As Camden Madsen does not come around from second. So one out, but runners on first and third after the right field single from Matt Getzman. He is 1 for 4 tonight. And Colin Lyman, the right fielder. So what's in the works here? A 6-4-3 or another fastball blown right past Lyman. I hope it's one of those two. But it'll be grounded over to Bachman. Bachman tries to turn 2 and throws, but it will not be in time. As let's see, obviously the runner at first is going to be safe, but it looks like they were unable to turn either. And the home crowd not happy with that call. That was another soft grounder. As Camden Madsen comes home from third base. So a slow dribbler up to Bachman. And Bachman off of his back foot had to play it perfectly. And the throw over to McHenry apparently was not in time. As it appeared that Matt Getzman reached second before Bachman could make the throw. And that also means that Colin Lyman is safe at first. So the least ideal of situations is now the Prospects have an 8-5 lead, a 3-run lead here in the top of the 8th. And there are still runners in scoring position. Runners on first and second, 1 out. And Nolan Brown, the shortstop, up to bat. I'm going to say it very quickly before any other action happens. We have Alma Mater night tomorrow. Glad I could get that out. Another theme after tonight was Here for the Beer, a huge success. Alma Mater night, dress up in your favorite clothes. From college, anything, or high school, anything that you want to show your school pride. As Hecky fires one for a strike. Nothing to be ashamed about. I'll be repping my high school pride up here in the booth. It's a fun night for everyone to be involved. We love to see a huge crowd. We love for you to be here. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Right now, we are in a bit of a jam. With runners on first and second, only one out. Hecky fires, and that one is high and inside for ball one. So the first time through the order, the prospects looked like they were unable to catch up with what the Squatch were throwing. But once those 4 runs were scored in the third inning, once all of the prospect batters were able to have a better view of these Squatch pitchers, they've been squaring things up left and right. And that's been something special about Drew tonight. He has fanned a few already, as that one is hit high. And Biggerstaff tries to run towards it. Decides early on not to because it was way out of here. So now Drew ahead 1-2, looking to keep this game in balance. And just trying to keep it close. In summer ball, anything can happen. A 3-run lead is not that big to overcome. Not that large of a deficit. First, we got to get through this. The 1-2. Swing and a miss from Nolan Brown for the second out of the inning. And Hetke unloading on that pitch. And that one is hit high out towards right center. And that one, there was no doubt about it. I was talking about unloading on the pitch from Hetke. He was throwing a high fastball, but it looked like Tristan Gomes unloaded on that pitch, as he has another home run, his second of the night. Clears the bases. And he just flipped this game on its head, as it is now an 11-5 lead for the Prospects. His second home run in basically the exact same spot as the one he hit in the third inning. So Hetke been firing in all cylinders until that point, unfortunately. Gomes just squared it up. And there was no doubt about it, as that one is hit out towards right field. Hoyland rushing in on it. And that will be caught in foul ground for out number 3. So a 4-run 8th for the Prospects. And the Squatch now have a much bigger hole to dig themselves out of. They got to come back 6. But never say never is what we say here in Black Hills Energy Stadium. There's lots of baseball left to be played. Squatch has got to get going. We'll see if they can. We'll be right back with you. Headed to the bottom of the 8th.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
Coming to you live from Black Hills Energy here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Your Sasquatch are currently down 11-5, a 6-run deficit, as the top of the order comes back around for the Sasquatch. Obviously, after the Prospects drove across 4 in the top of the 8th, a bit of a bigger lead to overcome. But if the Prospects can score 4 in an inning, who's to say we can't? And we have the best possible opportunity now with the top of the order rolling over. As McHenry grounds that one over, and that is going to be a good attempt by the shortstop, Nolan Brown, to try to throw that one over, but McHenry beats out in plenty of time as Ryan Bachman steps in. The Sasquatch have found plenty of opportunity in that tiny gap in the infield, right between Brown and Gage Allen at third. And Brown, despite his best efforts, has not been able to throw anybody out when they hit in that spot. And another thing to note for the Prospects, Jaden Payne back out for another inning. We'll see if the Sasquatch can take advantage of him here, as after he has been taken, and that one's going to be grounded up the middle, but it looks like it could be a potential for a double play, and it is. As Nolan Brown gathers, that one is hit up the middle, but the mound stopped its progression, can slow it down significantly. Nolan Brown steps on the second base bag and fires over to first. And that is a quick 2 outs. And so now Carson Green, hoping to keep the inning alive. Now down 2 outs and no one on. Payne has found ways over and over again in this game to get out of these innings with runners on. And that one is hit back to Payne again. And Brown was going to try, but it looks like Carson Green will stop the burners over at first. That one is fired back at Payne, and that one reflects off the mound. Deflects, excuse me. And it looks like maybe that shook up Jaden Payne on the mound. Don't know where it hit him, but they're going to check him out on the mound. And if this game was still 7-5, maybe it would have been a different story. Not sure if they would have brought Payne out for another inning of relief in such a close game, trying to shut it out in the 8th and 9th. But after the 4-run blast, looks like the head coach for the Prospects decided otherwise. Decided that Jaden could finish it off, and he is only an out away from it here in the 8th inning if he can stay out. On the mound, and they have a trainer out there now trying to see what happened. So those were 2 line shots back to back from Bachman and Green. Right up the middle off the mound. Almost hit Payne the first time. Seemed like it did the second time. But he is going to stay out there to finish the inning, if he can. So now 10 hits for both teams. Prospects have had the better luck in this one, scoring 11 runs. And the Sasquatch still held at the number 5 since the 4th inning. And so the pitch to Gabe Springer. Anything can happen in summer ball. That's one thing to never forget. Springer takes that low for ball 2. And so now the 2-0 from Payne. Ball 3. And no better time to have your home field behind you, your home crowd. As I said earlier, the commitment, the dedication of the Spearfish population coming to these games all the time and never leaving until the final out, no matter the outcome of the game. They've seen some crazy things. Since the Sasquatch started out here. And they know better than to leave. The 3-2 inside for Springer. So now 2 on, 2 outs. And this looks like it will be the end of the line for Payne. There's been a couple of mound visits here and there, but with a guy in the bullpen, they are about to bring him out. We'll see who that is once we figure it out. And I will let you know immediately. But a great outing from Jaden Payne. Who picked up the pieces for the prospects after Caleb Carpenter, the starting pitcher, could only go 3 1/3. And Payne has done his job since then, as he leaves with a 6-run lead and 2 on and 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. So now we're looking at Joshua Kilzer on the mound. The 6'2" righty from Wayne State University. He's pitched 4 1/3 so far this year, fanning 4. Obviously a small sample size for Kilzer, but he does have a 6.23 ERA. Up to that point, always something to consider. So Green on second, Springer on first. And Drew Biggerstaff looking to turn on one like he did down the third base line just an inning ago. If you've been watching us with us tonight, you've been seeing plenty of balls being put into play by the Squatch, plenty of base runners. Just going back to the basics of getting them across. They've been held scoreless since the bottom of the 4th inning when they scored 1. And the Squatch look to cut into this lead. So the Sasquatch wearing their all whites tonight. Haven't seen this combo in a while. As last night they wore their blue Spearfish jerseys. Brand new this year. Very nice. And also their black jerseys the games before in the doubleheader. But the whites are a sight to see at home. So now Kilzer with a 6-run lead, but runners on first and second. And throws that one low for ball 1 to Biggerstaff. So Drew 2 for 3 tonight. Helps when you have a great catcher behind the plate, but helps even more when he can square up on one. Takes that one for a called strike. The Prospects looking to break a 4-game losing streak, as they've only played 5 games so far, and Green is way off of second base. And Straw threatens to throw to second, but retreats. So now a 2-1 count to Biggerstaff. He's been very patient at the plate. Pitch from Kilzer. Way low in the dirt, ball 3. So we've seen it inning after inning. The Squatch will have runners on first and second. They might have them on second and third. They might have bases loaded. So that has not been the problem. It's just cutting into this lead. Hopefully Biggerstaff can do that here. The 3-1. He won't have the chance to, as that one was way outside for ball 3. And now bases are loaded in the bottom of the 8th. And now Harrison Clark back up once more. As I talked about yesterday, a great situational hitter. Would be very nice to see some of that situational hitting put in play with bases loaded and a 6-run deficit. Trey Vorwald in the on-deck circle. So Joshua Kilzer has to be very selective with his pitches here, very smart with it. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Harrison Clark, and the pitch down low once again, 3 in a row down low. And now there is going to be another mound visit as the coach comes from the dugout. They're going to have a quick talk real quick. So we had our first home run in the stadium last night in Black Hills at home. What about a grand slam? Because I failed to mention one thing to you. In the bottom of the 8th inning, if the Sasquatch hit a home run, a grand slam, so bases are loaded right now. If Harrison Clark were to hit a grand slam right here, one lucky winner who has been put into a lottery will potentially get $1 million. That would be crazy. The stakes are high. The 1-1. Down low again. So now the 2-0 count to Clark. Up high. Clark will probably, unless one is just right down the middle and too good to pass up, he's going to wait for Kilzer to throw a strike. So now the 3-0 with bases loaded. The pitch. And that one is taken in. Strike 1. And the home crowd continues not to be happy. There's been some questionable calls here and there. The 3-1. And that is going to be a strike. That, oof. The zone appears to be a bit expanded tonight. So now count runs full for Clark, as Kilzer, after a straight 3 balls, is now back in the count full, and that one is going to be grounded up the middle, but straight to Brown as he fires over to first for the 3rd out of the inning. So Kilzer comes in for relief after Payne exits and gets out of the inning, and the Squatch failed to bring a run across. as we head to the top of the ninth. Squatch still down 6. We'll be right back with you. And we welcome you back here at the 9:47 Mountain Time here at Black Hills Energy, as we are in the top of the 9th inning. Drew Hedke back out for another inning as he squares up with Jaden Adams, the second baseman, hitting in the 6th spot. Squatch are down 6 at the moment, an 11-5 ball game in favor of the Prospects. 10 hits for each team. The Squatch loaded them up in the bottom of the 8th, but unable to convert, unable to draw any runs across. And that has been the common issue tonight in the latter half of this game. So the 1-1 from Hedke, as that one is lined and hit out towards center field. Green unable to make the catch on that one. So Jaden Adams with a single out towards right center to lead off the inning. And Jackson Stroff in the 7th spot. And that'll be Jackson Meyer instead of Jackson Stroth. One Jackson pinch hit for another. So this will be Jackson Meyer's first look against Drew Hedke with Adams on. And no one out. So Hedke was exceptional up until having to face Tristan Gomes, who has hit 2 home runs tonight as he cleared the bases with a huge shot. As Clark tries to throw over but decides not to. A tough play as Clark catches the ball at first. Sees Adams running to second, tries to throw over, decides that he will not be in time, tries to throw back to Hedke, who goes to protect first base, but the throw is not in time. So now Meyer reaches. And now first and second, no one out for the Prospects. And the Achilles heel of the Sasquatch tonight, Zach Johnson and Gage Allen, the next 2 batters that Drew Hedke has to face. Johnson will be first, batting in the 8th spot. Takes that for a called strike. So a lot of soft contact on the ground for the prospects. A lot of opportunities to get on base as they are sprinting up first base path. They have done a great job of getting on tonight any way they can. Hecky fires that one past Johnson as he gets ahead 0-2. And if the Squatch want a chance at coming back in this bottom of the 9th inning, they can't let another cross. The 0-2. Outside for a ball. That one was a bit low. So Hecky will try again against Zach Johnson, the 1-2. And that one is hit high, and Bachman is going to make the trip over for the first out. A fly ball in the infield. So both runners held at first and second. No advance and one out with Gage Allen.
Don't forget, we got more baseball this weekend, 6:30 tomorrow night, 4 p.m. on Sunday. Bring the family on Sunday. We're going to have a great time on Sunday. And it'll be beautiful weather all weekend long.
So if you just heard the PA announcer, you might not have, but he was just talking about how we'll have a beautiful weekend on Saturday and Sunday for games 2 and 3 of this series against the prospects. We'd love to see you up here for some exciting action in the next 2. The prospects know how to hit. So do the Squatch. A great matchup between these two teams. Hecky fires in there for a strike. And we thank you for joining us tonight on the Spearfish Sasquatch YouTube channel. And strike 2 to Allen. And Drew ahead of Allen, trying to figure out his pitch. And Allen thinks about it, but goes, but that ball is going to get behind Biggerstaff. He tries to throw over to third, but not in time, as Adams is safe at third and Meyer safe at second. So now a 2-2 count. Runners on second and third. Makes it definitely more interesting as Hecky's looking to get out of this one. The pitch, swing and a miss. Gage Allen strikes out, now 2 for 5 on the night. Struck out the last 2 times up against Hecky. Now 2 outs as Matt Getzman, the center fielder and leadoff hitter for Nebraska. So the 2-out pitch fouled back. So we are approaching the 3.5-hour mark in tonight's game. And that one is lined up the middle, and that is going to drive home Adams and potentially Meyer as Meyer races around third. Green throws home, not in time. The mound slows it down, and that is going to add on 2 more runs. As that was good situational hitting there from Getzman, as he accounts for his second hit of the night. Hecky not happy on the mound, as the Squatch now have an 8-run deficit. So the pitch to Colin Lynham. Taken for a strike one. 13 runs on 13 hits for the Prospects. They have made sure to capitalize. They did not leave many runners on. The 0-1, swing and a miss again. So now Hecky ahead 0-2. As we said, Drew knows how to find the zone. That's no problem. It's retiring these batters on the 0-2. Hopefully he can here. And that one is going to be hit out towards right center, towards Hoyland, as the side is retired, and Hecky threw another inning of work, but not before 2 more runs cross in the top of the 9th. So we head to the bottom of the inning. And the Sasquatch looking for some 9th inning magic. They're going to need a lot of it, but it's possible. Anything can happen. Let's hope for it. Be right back with you.
For summer at the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City. Trade-in values are at an all-time high, and there's never been a better time to buy. With over 400 vehicles on location, you're guaranteed to find the right ride to take you into summer. And while you're here, make sure to sign up to win some great summer gear, like a Rice Honda side-by-side, Black Hills Fireplace Traeger Smoker, a variety of gift certificates, and more. Come by and check out a great selection of vehicles and summer gear at any of the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City and at menholdsummer.com. Gear up for summer at the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City. Trade-in values are at an all-time high, and there's never been a better time to buy. With over 400 vehicles on location, you're guaranteed to find the right ride to take you into summer. And while you're here, make sure to sign up to win some great summer gear, like a Rice Honda side-by-side, Black Hills Fireplace Traeger Smoker, a variety of gift certificates, and more. Come by and check out a great selection of
And welcome back to the bottom of the 9th inning, as Kilzer is back on the mound for the Prospects with an 8-run lead. And the Squatch looking for some crazy magic tonight as Trey Vorwald looking to get on base somehow, some way. We know he can. We've seen almost every Squatch batter on base at some point tonight. The problem hasn't been getting on base, it's just been getting across home. As that one is hit softly over to Adams at second. Fires over to Gomes for the first out of the inning. So now Squatch down to their last 2 outs. As we will be having a pinch hitter now for the Sasquatch. And that is going to be Keenan O'Brien. One of the people we were talking about earlier who is going to be another catcher on this Sasquatch roster in his first plate appearance for the Sasquatch. Very happy to have him on this team. Let's see what he can do. O'Brien from Broomfield, Colorado. Attends Corbin University. And as we've talked about earlier, with the lack of depth at catcher, until seemingly now, we will take any help we can get. Great to have another bat in the lineup as well as a guy behind the plate. Biggerstaff's done a great job. Johnson and Carr have held down the position for the first few weeks of the season, and they've done a great job as well. But catcher is one of those positions you never can have too many of. As O'Brien takes that 4, called strike 2. So he is down to his last strike with 1 out and no one on. So the pitch almost hits Keenan. So now 2-2. O'Brien is just one of the many that we have coming for you. I only announced about 4, as they will be very close to arriving, if they haven't already, within the next couple of days and in the next series. And O'Brien takes another one for a ball, now a full count. And the greatest part about it is that we have even more guys coming in mid-June, late June. Players who will help contribute to the success of this team, as it is a very long season. A lot of ball to be played. Only the 3rd home series so far this year, after playing the Big Sticks and the Moo. For the first 2, it's now O'Brien, the full count, as that one is lifted and is going to go way foul into the batting cages. So Keenan O'Brien, an impressive first plate appearance against Joshua Kilzer. Fighting this at bat, trying to get on base any way he can. Let's see if he'll throw him something he likes. And he didn't like that one, but he will take his base. So a great job by Keenan O'Brien to get on base and let Cam Hoyland have a chance to drive him in. You can't have a scoring run without getting guys on base. If you were not aware. So O'Brien notices that there is absolutely no one at second and dives into second base. So a bit short of the bag, but he gets there either way. Very smart base running by Keenan, being active. So now Hoyland behind, 0-2. So since the 4th inning, when the Squatch scored their 5th and final run to this point, as O'Brien is going to steal 3rd. Great heads-up base running by Keenan O'Brien. Stealing 2nd, now 3rd. If they let him do it, why not? And the pitch fouled way out of play. High behind us in the booth. After the Squatch scored their 5th and final run to this point in the bottom of the 4th, the Prospects managed to score 8 unanswered. And that is including 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 4 in the 8th, and 2 in the 9th. That is the model of consistency. And a swing and a miss from Hoyland. He is down on his luck for out number 2. So the lineup card rolls over for the last time. Hopefully not the last time. I'd love to see us go through it again. But Johnny McHenry and the Squatch down to their last out. Taking a bit outside for ball 1. So 8 unanswered all throughout the game. That is what the Squatch are trying to model after in their future contests. As you saw, they scored early, 4 runs in the first. But once it was evened up again in the 3rd, 4-4, Squatch only managed to score 1 afterwards in the 4th. 5, 6, 7, 8, and now 9 scoreless to this point. So now a 2-1 count to McHenry. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Down to their last strike. Squatch are in jeopardy of breaking that early 2-win streak. So now the 2-2 to Johnny. Fouled back once more. That one was in on the hands. So Johnny shakes that one off. Never a good feeling. He is 3 for 5 tonight. You have to love the work that McHenry and Bachman are putting in back-to-back. Maybe Johnny can do that here. And that one is hit out towards shallow center. And Adams calls it off for the final out, and that is going to be your ball game tonight. After a quick 4-0 lead in the bottom of the first, the Sasquatch were stunned 13-5 to end this game. The Nebraska Prospects take game one. As we'll be right back with you in the next few minutes, but there is still game 2 and 3 to be played. The Squatches took a series against the Fremont Moo last night. Who says they can't do it in games 2 and 3? A long season, a lot of ball left to be played, but a great offensive performance from the Prospects, and the Squatch look to even things up tomorrow. We'll be right back with a quick post game, but outside of that, I am Win Andrews, and it is my pleasure to be here with you on the call. We'll be right back with you. Squatch lose 13-5 tonight.
Hubbard, and I got Tanner Hill with me tonight, coach of Sasquatch. Rough night for us as we came off such a high win from yesterday. Coach, what change did you see within the team from tonight compared to last night?
I don't really think anything changed. I think we still had, the same approaches we had last night. Pitching was great early on. Just some calls here and there that we had to get 4 outs. Kind of held us to where we were. But we're not going to let that define us and come back at it tomorrow.
Right. What do you tell your players to keep them composed and motivated when dealing with uncontrollable outside calls?
Well, there's nothing you can do about it. It's such as life. Nobody's perfect. We're going to miss calls. Just tell them, you got to come back out tomorrow and go compete the tail off and keep on fighting, keep on swinging.
Right. From the beginning of the game, there was a really high energy.
Yep.
Once we started scoring runs, and then some unfavorable calls were called. And what do you think? How do you think that affected your team going into the rest of the game?
It takes bats out of our hands. And it just changes the whole aspect of the game. As from a player standpoint, you can't look at it that way. You got to keep on battling, and that's one thing we got to do better, better job of just keep fighting back, keep punching no matter what's thrown at us.
Right. Talking on a more defensive end, when you had to pull Gage out, Gage was throwing a pretty good game, but then we got more unfavorable calls. What did you tell Gabe to keep him composed?
I just told him to go out there and be a bulldog. He's done well. He's done well for us. Just told him to keep on going and deal with what he could there at the end.
Right. What can we expect for tomorrow's game? Hopefully we get a little bit better of an outcome.
Yeah, we're going to come with a really competitive fire tomorrow. I hate losing. So we're going to come back. We're going to compete. Like I always say in these interviews, we're going to compete our tails off. We're going to come out tomorrow. We're going to try to win. That's the goal here.
Right.
So I'm a little upset. So tomorrow's there's going to be a little bit more fire in our bellies.
Yep.
We're going to come out and be able to swing a little bit better and pitch it well and get a good win.
Right. Well, you heard it here, folks. Come watch us tomorrow. Hopefully we got a fire lit under these boys' butts, but come back tomorrow for 2 more games. Thank you.
All right, Squatch Nation, so I'm here with Coach Tanner Hill. Obviously, you just saw a few questions asked from our on-field host, Bailey Hubbard. Thank you, Bailey. Great questions, a lot of great analysis. So, Coach Hill, just wanted to ask a couple of questions. Obviously, on the offensive end, a bit of a struggle. 8 unanswered runs by the prospects throughout the remainder of the game after having the game tied. What do you tell your players? How do we really just readjust and come back, as this has been sort of a bit of a struggle to start the season in terms of being able to score early and often?
Yeah, you gotta take what you have in that first inning and build on it. I feel like second inning on there wasn't necessarily selfish ABs. We were just chasing a lot of pitches out of the zone, which in that aspect you got to be more disciplined and be able to not do that because the way to score runs is to have base runners, and being more disciplined at the plate helps.
Right. Well, if you can, reflect on Brady Hawkins' first start, obviously, with the Spearfish Sasquatch. His first appearance on the mound. Had a lot of great pitches, a lot of great strikes. I mean, just in general, a great performance through the first couple of innings. Ran into trouble. In the 4th win, the prospects drove 4 runs in, courtesy of the first baseman for Nebraska.
Yeah.
What do you have to say going off of that start? How do you feel about Hawkins? How do you think Hawkins feels going into his next start?
Hawkins is a stud. He's going to come out and he's going to win us some ball games this summer. You can't let one start define who you are the rest of the year. As a pitcher, you gotta forget about it and move on. So what? He hit a home run. Great job for him. Next pitch, next outing, it's the same thing, same mindset. Here's my fastball. Hope you can hit it.
Absolutely. We were talking earlier about how he really loves to control between the 4-seam and the 2-seam.
Yes.
Either way, the guy has a flamethrower for an arm.
Yeah.
Really exciting stuff to have throughout the rest of the season as we have more and more people coming in. How do you just keep your team on balance? Obviously, it's easy to be distracted with players consistently coming in. It's an exciting thing, but also a bit of a distraction at times when you have players that you don't recognize in the dugout. How do you keep this team who's been playing throughout the start of this season just online and being able to play these games?
You know, you remind them we're a family here. You know, we're just getting some more brothers in the dugout to help us out, which is never a bad thing. You know, in baseball, you need all the guys you can get, especially arms, and we've been able to bring in some arms to help us out a little bit. You know, just continue to tell them, hey, look, there's competition at every spot. If you want to go play, go win it. And you know, that helps kind of, as crazy as it sounds, it helps them gel a little bit and helps them understand more of what we're trying to get accomplished here.
Okay. Well, obviously we've kept you up here for long enough. I know you got things to do, Coach. Anything you'd like to add for the crowd as we head into Game 2 of this series tomorrow night?
I'm going to quote the late, great Lane Kiffin right here. Get your popcorn ready.
Get your popcorn ready. You heard it here, folks. That is Coach Tanner Hill's words for the wise. So very exciting stuff. We appreciate you being here, Coach. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. So that settles it, obviously. Spearfish Sasquatch lose tonight in a tough game behind an explosive offensive performance from the Nebraska prospects. But who's to say that the Squatch can't have that tomorrow, as the Spearfish Sasquatch fall to 4-11 on the year, and the prospects improve to 2-4. But we still have 2 more games against the prospects. Very exciting stuff to finish out this homestand. And folks, we hope that you are here to be there for it. Alma Mater night tomorrow. Do not forget, show up and show your school pride. Really exciting times. We hope that we can be here at Black Hills Energy Stadium rocking with us as we look to bring home a series win in the next 2 games. But for now, I'll let you go. It's a late night here in South Dakota. I am Win Andrews, your voice of the Sasquatch, and we are so glad you're able to join us tonight. We will see you tomorrow. Go Squatch.